All right, so now one of the things that can happen is that a user may refresh the page. And in this case, if I refresh this page, then all my Redux states will be lost, except the actions that trigger those states to be saved are recalled. So for example, let me refresh this page and watch what happens to my nav menu. So you see, I've refreshed the page now, although I'm still logged in, but my Redux state, refreshed and set back to false, which is the default. Now we are seeing register and login. So we need to have a way to be able to get the login status of the user, right? Even if they refresh the page, or maybe they off their computer and come back or something like that. So let me show you how we can do that. So I'll come here and I'll go to my, I think this one can close, as well as for now this one too can close. So I'll go to my auth services. All these ones too can close, reset, register, and even login. So I'll go to my auth services, and in this auth services I'm going to create a new function that will get the login status, and we have that in the backend as well. So let me just copy all of this, highlight all of this, and duplicate it, and then I'll just add a comment. So here I'll say get login status, aha, and here I'll give the function the same name. So I'll say get login status. Good. Now to get the login status, we are going to query, so I'll say Axios dot, it's not a put request, it's a get request, if you remember. So get, and then the URL we are querying is, let me just do a quick reminder. So I'll bring up this guy here, and you see where we did the get login status. So right here where we did where is it, get login status. All right, so you see API users logged in, and it's a get request. So let's actually just grab this logged in and copy that, and then I'll just come down. So here we're doing a get request to API users, and I'm going to delete all of this and just have my logged in. Yeah, and we're not sending any user data or anything like that. So let's just remove all of this. We just want to check whether the user is logged in or not. So I'm removing this user data as well, and let's, aha, good. Now we are simply going to return the response.data, and remember the response.data is either true or false based on whether the user is logged in. It's as simple as that. So now let's call this function, this get login status function. We're going to call it from our app.js. So let me save this guy first, then I'll go to my app.js and just call it. So what I want is, every time, like when the app loads the first time, I want us to be able to get the login status and set it in, the Redux. So I'm going to do that with a use effect. So I'll just come here inside the app, and you know what, first off, let me import use dispatch, because I want to dispatch a function. So I'll say use dispatch, and I need to import that from, oh, why is it not auto importing? Okay, let me just grab it somewhere, and I'll just slot it here like this, Control V. Yeah, great. So next I would just create the dispatch variable here inside of the app. So let's just create the dispatch variable, and then I'll add a use effect. So use effect, like so. Let's open that up, and I'll say I want this to run just once when the app loads. So leave the dependency empty. Go ahead and import use effect from, okay, somehow I'll say import use effect, and it's supposed to come from React, okay. I don't know why nothing is auto importing in this app today, but no wahala, I'll soon be done. So inside this use effect, what we want to do is we want to call that get login status function. So here I'll just say async. I want to create an asynchronous function. So async sync sync, yeah, and I'll just do a regular function that I'll call login status. So login status TUS. So I'm creating the function here. So let's open that. Inside of this function, we just want to get the login status. So I'll say const and I'll save it inside the variable called status, and that's going to be equal to await await then get login status. Now I'm calling it. Okay, so now let's open that. That's all. We're not doing any other thing. So I need to auto import this as well. Like, I really don't know what's happening here today. Okay, so let me just grab the import statement somewhere. So I think we can just import that. So this is it, import get login status from services auth services. Aha, now we can now dispatch the set login, and I'll just say dispatch. I've forgotten that I've not even brought in set login. So let me just come here and say set underscore login. And for some, you know what, I'm actually tired of what Visual Studio Code is doing today. It's not helping me import anything. So I need to import set login from where is it located? Dot forward slash, no, dot forward slash, and it's in the, I know it's in the, okay, Redux, then features, then auth, then auth slice. Okay, so now let's come here and dispatch the set login function. So I'll say set login, sorry, I would dispatch, and want to say set login, set underscore login, and then we're just going to set it to whatever the status is. You know, the status is either going to be true or false. So I'll just say status. Okay, now that's it. Technically that's it. Now we'll just come down here and just call the login status function. So login status, and then we'll just call it. Then this our use effects is missing a dependency, so I'll just add my dispatch there, and that's it. So let's come here and save, and then we'll come back here to this guy. So you see, immediately the page refreshed, suddenly we now have this dashboard. That's because this use effect fired, and we're able to detect that this user is logged in, and we dispatched it to this set login function, passing the status as a payload, and that's why we're able to immediately detect that the user is logged in. So no matter how many times you refresh this page, it will always, if the user is logged in, it will always show you this dashboard link. If the user is logged out, it will show you the register and the other link. So that's about it for this one. I'll see you in the next one.